Hello, I'm the CommanderZander. I remembered so that a stats critic doesn't have to, and neither should you. Well, it's 2016, kiddies, and you know what that means. It's time to get back to work. So, seeing as how today is the 10-year anniversary of Grandma's Boy being released in theaters, and seeing as how the fact that my freaking creator already did a review, I figured I'd talk about why Grandma's Boy is not getting the credit that it deserves. Because I go online and I keep looking at the reviews that movie's getting, and it's a mixed review. Some critics think it's good, others think it's not. Most people say, well, unless you're high, this is going to not be a good movie for you. This is something that's typical of Adam Sandler. He just throws it all together for Happy Gilmore and just uses all his fellow friends as cameos and other main roles and all that stuff. But in my opinion, I think Grandma's Boy is one of his better movies in the 2000s. Yes, I know Adam Sandler's great movies were in the 90s, and any movie that involves him, whether it be acting and or directing or producing, has been shitty for the most part in the 2000s. But this is the one movie that I actually think was good in the 2000s. You had a great cast of actors. You had Velma. Well, not Velma, but the actress who played Velma. You had Nick Swartzen. You had, well, your typical Adam Sandler buddies. You had David Spade in a cameo role. You had John Schneider in a cameo role. You had the actress who played Raymond's mom. You had a good lineup of actors and actresses. And they all portrayed their roles very well. I don't think it's the greatest movie of all time, but I do believe that Grandma's Boy should get the credit it deserves. It tried to do something different. So, for those who don't remember, here's what the plot is. It's essentially a tester, or a bunch of video game testers, testing out a new video game. And in doing so, they get high. Why not? I mean, come on, you're testing video games. What else can you do? I mean, that's the ideal job. That's the job that everyone's looking for. Spending some leisure time while doing something that you absolutely have a passion for. And on the sidetrack, Alex, not my creator, the guy in the movie, the character in the movie, is making another video game and it gets stolen by JP. So they have to play that game to decide who's lying. And you can probably figure it out if you've seen the movie. And many people think, well, this is a stupid plot because all it is testing video games, getting really high. There isn't really a plot to it. I think it kind of is a plot. Because you're getting through the life of Alex and what he's had to go through just in order to test the video games. He has to live with his grandparents now because his buddy decided to spend all the rent on hookers. I mean, what else can I say about that? And so now he has to live with his grandma. And he's trying to hide the fact that he's living with his grandma. And he's also trying to hide the fact that he's making a video game behind everyone else's back, which turns out to be a great video game. So there's a plot to it. There is a conflict to it. And I think that's a good thing in a movie. You gotta have a plot, and it kind of does. And you gotta have a conflict, and it really does have a conflict. JP's problem is he's a weirdo. And he's trying to fit into a world that doesn't really need him because he's not really that needed. I mean, he tries not to be weird. He knows that he's being weird. And he's trying to stop it, but he just is a prodigy. And he doesn't fit in with everybody else. So he tries to fit in. You kind of see that there as the movie progresses. He's talking to Samantha, who's the director and trying to oversee the final productions of the video game. He's trying to have a relationship with her, but it just doesn't work out. And that's why he's essentially the villain in the movie. Even though he's not really bad, he kind of is the villain in the movie. He kind of is set up that way, and Alex is set up as a hero. You may not see it right away, but after you see the movie several times, you start to pick things up. And I think this movie's worth giving a try. This is a movie that everyone's completely forgotten about because, well, it came out 10 years ago and then nobody heard of it again after it was gone. And I think you definitely need to give this a chance because it has a good lineup of characters. It has a plot, you just don't see it right away. And it's got conflict that, again, takes some time to watch and analyze before you finally get it. Some people just want to see it just for entertainment. I, for one, am like many critiquers, not only want to see it for entertainment, but for analyzing it so that we can tell you what the movie's like in case you don't get it the first time. And that's what I feel about Grandma's Boy. And I think they do a good job of doing a plot and having conflicts and going through the roundabouts. I think this is an under-the-radar movie. Do I think it's the greatest movie of all time? Of course not. I don't think so. There are plenty of other great movies besides this one. But is it really worth being that bad? No, I don't think so. Some critiquers might think this is horrible, while others think this is pretty good. I'm leaning on the side where this is actually a pretty good movie. And I think if you don't like it, or if you've not seen it yet, definitely consider Grandma's Boy. And if you haven't seen it before, I think you're going to find it really amusing. And if you've seen it before and you haven't figured out the plots or the conflicts, then definitely go check it out again. But I'm hoping that this editorial, in celebration of the 10-year anniversary of the movie being released, sends a message that Grandma's Boy isn't one of your typical Adam Sandler bullshit, Happy Madison crapper of a 2000s type movie. This is one of his better movies. It's not the greatest of all time, but it certainly isn't the worst. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. And if you've already seen it and you haven't figured out the plot or conflict yet, definitely see it again. But I'm hoping that this video shows you all that, and that Grandma's Boy is better than what it deserves. Grandma's Boy is not one of the worst movies of all time. I put it right around the middle there, where there is some good, there are some bad, but I'm trying to show you the goods of Grandma's Boy to try and balance out the negativity that everyone's giving it. So if you have a chance to see Grandma's Boy, definitely go check it out. I think it's worth seeing. I'm the CommanderZander. I remember until the stand to Greg doesn't have to, and neither should you.